It was a dreary, rain-soaked Tuesday morning when Emma, a young woman in her late 20s, walked into the lobby of a towering high-rise for the job interview she had eagerly awaited. She had spent weeks getting ready for this moment, practicing tough interview questions, updating her resume, and perfecting her handshake in front of the mirror. Today could be her big break, the opportunity to become part of one of the city's most prestigious marketing agencies. But fate had other plans. Just as Emma stepped out of her Uber at the building's entrance, a strong gust of wind blew through, flipping her umbrella inside out and rendering it completely useless. She tried to shield herself with her arms, but the rain was merciless. Within seconds, she was drenched from head to toe. Her carefully selected outfit was ruined, and her makeup had begun to streak down her face. She looked like a complete mess. Soaking wet and flustered, Emma stepped into the elevator. The weight of the situation bore down on her heavily. She had just enough time to reach the interview, but there was no chance to return home and change. Embarrassment crept in. What would the interviewer think? Would she even be given a fair chance to speak? A wave of self-doubt crashed over her, and for a moment, she considered turning around and walking away. But then, something caught her eye. Just outside the building, an elderly man was hunched over, struggling to lift a heavy cart that had toppled over in the rain. He, too, was soaked through, and though he clearly needed help, no one around seemed to notice. Without a second thought, Emma rushed to him. She grabbed the cart and helped him lift it upright, her clothes clinging uncomfortably to her skin as she worked, but she didn't care. The man's face lit up with gratitude. As she steadied the cart, he looked at her and said, his voice trembling with relief, "Thank you so much. I don't know what I would have done without you." Emma smiled warmly. "Don't mention it. Just lending a hand," she replied, with the cart back in place. She gently patted the man's back and offered a few kind words before hurrying back into the building. Her interview was moments away. When Emma stepped into the interview room, her soaked clothes and disheveled look were impossible to miss. But what happened next was something she never could have imagined. The CEO of the company, a refined, middle-aged man named Daniel Hastings, looked up from his desk and smiled at her. He motioned for her to sit and gave her a moment to collect herself. "I know this might seem a bit unusual," he began, "but I'd like to hear your story. What happened to you this morning?" Still flustered, Emma explained everything, her embarrassment growing as she described the ordeal with the rain. As she wrapped up, she began to apologize for the way she looked, but Daniel gently interrupted her. He said, "We've interviewed hundreds of candidates for this role, but not a single one walked in here with the kind of heart you just showed, the way you helped that man, without hesitation, without worrying about your own situation. That's exactly the kind of person we want here." Emma was speechless. She had braced herself for criticism, or at the very least, a polite rejection. But instead, she was met with warmth and understanding. The CEO's expression softened as he continued speaking. "We don't just look for qualifications here," he said. "We value character, resilience, and the willingness to put others before yourself. And today, you've shown all of that. That means more to us than any flawless resume." Before Emma could respond, Daniel stood up and reached out. His hand, "Welcome to the team, Emma. You've got the job." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes as she grasped his hand. She had never imagined this would be the defining moment in her career, but it was. What started as an interview she feared would be a disaster had turned into a life-changing opportunity she would hold close forever. Word of Emma's unexpected success quickly spread throughout the company, and soon her story went viral. People from around the world were touched by her simple act of selflessness. In the face of difficulty. In a world where kindness is often overlooked, Emma's decision to help a stranger in the pouring rain became a symbol of hope. And as for Emma, she never forgot that rainy morning, the day when a small act of compassion changed her life in ways she had never dared to imagine.